Thanks for joining me as I dig deep into yet another philosophy background of someone that we are all familiar with and love, and try to uncover what makes his humor so unique. This person is behind some of the most iconic comedy shows and films of not just our time, but of all time. And I would be speaking of none other than the great comedian himself, Ricky Gervais. Hold on a second, though, because what you might not know is that before he became a household name, Gervais was actually studying philosophy at the University of Reading. Yes, you heard that right. Philosophy. Not only studying it, but degreeing in it as well. It's a lesser-known fact that adds a whole new layer of depth to his already impressive resume. Comedians are often perceived as class clowns, who lack serious academic backgrounds. We tend to think of them as naturally funny people who just wing it on stage. But Ricky Gervais challenges this stereotype. Not only did he study philosophy, but, as I said, he also graduated with a bachelor's degree in it. This goes to show that there's more to comedians than just their ability to make us laugh. They often have a rich educational background that influences their work in ways we might not even realize. Gervais's academic background is a testament to the fact that comedy and intelligence are not mutually exclusive. In fact, some of the greatest comedians of our time have had a strong academic foundation. Think of people like Steve Martin, who studied philosophy at UCLA, or John Cleese, who studied law at Cambridge. The list goes on. Gervais' own philosophy degree has undoubtedly shaped his unique comedic style, which often tackles complex issues like morality, ethics, and social commentary. The misconception that comedians lack intellectual depth stems from the fact that we tend to associate comedy with superficiality. We think of comedians as people who just want to make us laugh, without really trying to challenge our minds. But the truth is, comedy can be a powerful tool for social commentary and critique. It can make us think about important issues in a way that's both entertaining and accessible. And Ricky Gervais is the perfect example of this. Ricky Gervais's philosophical influences are vast and varied. He's drawn inspiration from thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche, Arthur Schopenhauer, and even Plato. His comedy often explores themes like the nature of reality, the meaning of life, and the human condition. These are all classic philosophical concerns that have been debated by scholars for centuries. By incorporating these ideas into his comedy, Gervais is able to make philosophy accessible to a wider audience. Gervais's comedy also often critiques societal norms and conventions. He tackles topics like religion, politics, and celebrity culture, using satire and irony to make his points. This is a classic philosophical technique, reminiscent of thinkers like Voltaire and Jonathan Swift. By using humor to challenge our assumptions, Gervais is able to make us think about the world in a different way. One of the most impactful philosophical ideas that Gervais has explored in his comedy is the concept of empathy. He's often spoken about the importance of putting ourselves in other people's shoes and trying to understand their perspectives. This is a classic liberal philosophical idea that has been debated by thinkers like John Stuart Mill and Immanuel Kant. By incorporating this idea into his comedy, Gervais is able to make it more relatable and accessible to a wider audience. Gervais has also spoken about the importance of critical thinking and skepticism. He's often critiqued the way we blindly accept information without questioning its validity. This is a classic philosophical concern that has been debated by thinkers like René Descartes and Karl Popper. By using humor to highlight the importance of critical thinking, Gervais is able to make us more aware of our own biases and assumptions. One quote that has resonated with audiences is Gervais's statement that people who need to tell you they're spiritual are often just trying to get out of doing the washing up. This quote is a perfect example of his ability to use humor to critique societal norms and conventions. It's a clever way of highlighting the hypocrisy of those who claim to be spiritual, but fail to practice what they preach. Ricky Gervais's philosophical background has undoubtedly enriched his comedy and encouraged deeper thinking among his fans. By incorporating philosophical ideas into his work, he's able to challenge our assumptions and make us think about the world in a different way. This is the true power of comedy, its ability to make us laugh, think, and question our place in the world. Thanks for joining me on this journey into Ricky Gervais's philosophy background. If you've got any thoughts on how his philosophical influences have shaped his comedy, be sure to leave them in the comments below if you would. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.